Summer is supposed to be safe, fun, warm. But some nights, something else comes out. A tent that should not be there. A pool that hides more than water. An ice cream truck that only plays after midnight. These stories are real, told by the ones who made it out. Watch closely, because next summer, it might be your turn. 1. The tent beside ours ***. We had pitched our tent near the woods. A quiet lake shimmered nearby. The sun sank behind the trees, casting long shadows across the grass. It was the third night of our summer camping trip. Just me, my cousin Derek, and 2 tents. As we made a small fire, I noticed something across the clearing. Another tent. Dark green. Silent. We were the only ones registered at the site. Derek shrugged it off. Probably just a late arrival. But no one came out. No movement. No light. That night, I woke to the sound of fabric rustling. Footsteps on dry leaves. Then a zipper. Not ours. I peeked out of the flap. The fire was cold. The green tent sat still. But someone stood beside it. Facing our direction. Not moving. Arms long at their sides. I whispered Derek's name. He stirred. Then the figure took 1 step forward. I ducked back in. Held my breath. The steps came closer. Slow. Deliberate. Then silence. I stayed still until morning. When I finally looked out, the green tent was gone. Not packed. Gone. Only a circle of dead grass remained. And in the dirt between our tents, bare footprints, leading straight to ours. But never away. To the pool that was not empty ***. It was the last week of summer. The community pool had already closed. But we climbed the fence anyway. The water was low. Leaves floated like forgotten thoughts. We splashed around, laughed, challenged each other to dive. Then Jamie screamed. We turned. He pointed to the drain at the deep end. Something moved. A hand. Thin. Gray. It reached out. Then slipped back into the grate. We laughed it off. Said it was weeds. A pipe. But when Jamie dove again, he never came back up. We waited. Shouted. Dove in after him. Nothing. No bubbles. No sound. Only the drain. And the silence. The next morning, the water was clear. No sign of him. Only one thing was different. In the middle of the pool, a second grate. We were sure it was not there before. And beneath it, a faint tapping. Like fingernails on metal. 3. The ice cream truck at midnight ***. It started in July. Every night, just after midnight, we heard the jingle. That cheerful looping music. Out of place in the darkness. We lived miles from any neighborhood. Just cornfields and a single dirt road. The first night we saw it, the truck parked by the edge of the field. No lights. Just music. I watched from the upstairs window. The driver sat still, staring straight ahead. The next night, it came again. Closer. Third night, the music changed. Slower. Notes bent out of tune. My little brother begged to go down. I held him back. Watched instead. Fourth night, there was no music. Only silence. But the truck was in our driveway. Its engine idled. The back door slowly opened. I ran to wake my parents. By the time they got there, the truck was gone. But our front door was wide open. And my brother's shoes were gone from the mat. Only sticky, wet footprints, let out into the road, melting, into the dust. We followed the footprints into the yard. The grass was soaked, though it had not rained. My parents called his name. Again. No answer. Only the low hum of insects in the fields. We searched until sunrise. The police came. Dogs sniffed the tracks, but stopped at the road's edge, confused, as if the trail just ended. That day, I sat on the porch, staring at the spot where the truck had been. Then I heard it again. Faint. Far. The music. The same broken jingle. I looked out at the fields. Something glinted in the sun. A cone. Half melted. Lying in the dirt. No one else heard it. No one believed me. But every night after, I stayed awake. Lights off. Window open. Listening. And sometimes, just past midnight, the music played. Somewhere far off. Closer each time. And I knew. It was not done with me yet. The nights grew longer. Hotter. The kind of heat that sticks to your skin like a warning. And always just after midnight, that jingle. Wavering through the trees. I stopped sleeping. Started recording the sound on an old tape recorder. But when I played it back, only silence. Not even static. One night I saw headlights at the end of the drive. Dim. Not like real headlights. More like lanterns behind foggy glass. I hid behind the curtain. The truck idled, its engine rattling like dry breath. Then the door opened. Not the back. The driver's side. A shape stepped out. Too tall. Limbs too stiff. No face. Just the shape of one. It walked toward the house. Stopped at the steps. And then, it turned its head. Straight toward my window. I ducked. Heart thudding in my throat. But I knew it had seen me. I waited. 10 minutes. An hour. Finally, I peeked out. The truck was gone. But the porch? Covered in melting footprints. Small ones. Bare. My brother's size. And just outside my window. Written in sticky red drips across the glass. Next time, come outside. I stumbled back from the window. The message glistened under the moonlight. Thick. Sweet smelling. Like syrup. I ran to wake my parents. Told them everything. They searched the yard again. Checked the doors. But the prints had melted away. And the message, gone. They told me I was grieving. Dreaming. That I needed sleep. But I knew what I saw. The next night, I set an alarm. Midnight. I sat in the dark. Window cracked. Recorder ready. 12:07. The jingle began. Off key. Too slow. The truck rolled into view. No lights. Just music. It stopped halfway down the drive. This time, the back door opened first. And standing inside, my brother. But not him. His face was pale. His eyes too wide. He smiled too long. He stepped down. Waved once. Then the driver followed. Taller now. Wearing the same face. Mine. I slammed the window shut. Backed away. They stood outside. Waiting. I did not open the door. I did not go outside. But I heard their footsteps. All night. Circling the house. Whispering the jingle. Slower. Until it was no longer music. Just a chant. At dawn, they were gone. But taped to the front door was a coupon. Faded. Stained. One free ride. Already redeemed. And in the corner, a photo. Me. Smiling. From inside the truck. My hands shook as I held the photo. It was real. The porch. The truck. And me inside it. Smiling in a way I never had. I ran to my room. Checked every mirror. Every reflection. Same face. But something about the eyes looked off. Like the smile from the photo had left a shadow behind them. I threw the picture away. Tore up the coupon. Burned both in the sink. The flames hissed. Thick black smoke curled up from the paper. And for a moment, the smoke formed a spiral. Like the swirl of ice cream in a cone. That night I heard no music. No truck. But the air outside pressed against the windows. Thick. Sweet. As if the night itself waited to be tasted. I moved away before the summer ended. Far inland. No trucks. No jingles. Years passed. I grew older. Tried to forget. But last week, a letter arrived. No return address. Inside a photo. A new child. Another ride. Smiling from inside the same faded truck. And written on the back. Your turn is coming again. Summertime never forgets. My chest tightened. I stared at the photo. Unable to look away. The boy's smile was wrong. Like it was stretched too wide from something underneath. Behind him, through the truck's window, I saw shelves lined with melted cones, old toys, and a row of shoes. One pair I recognized. Blow. Velcro straps. My brother's. I dropped the photo. It slid under my desk. That night, I locked every door. Closed every curtain. Turned off every light. Still, I could feel something outside. Not hear it. Feel it. The air tasted like vanilla. Spoiled. Heavy. And then, music. Not loud. Barely a whisper. Just enough for me to know. It had found me again. I stayed inside. Stayed awake. Until morning light broke through the blinds. Silence returned. But so did the photo. Back on my desk. Face up. The boy's smile now gone. And scribbled across the front in shaky red ink. This time, the window will not save you. I stared at the message. The words pulsed like veins on the paper. Fresh. Wet to the touch. I tore it apart. Each piece smaller than the last. Flushed it. Burned it. Buried what remained. But the smell stayed on my hands. Rotten cream. Warm sugar. Like something had melted on my skin. That night, I did not sleep. I sat in the hallway. Watching every window. Waiting. The clock ticked to midnight. No jingle. No headlights. Just a soft clink. From the kitchen. I crept closer. Turned the corner. And saw it. An ice cream cone. Placed perfectly on the counter. 2 red scoops stacked on top. slowly dripping. And beside it, a note. No envelope. No stamp. Just 5 crooked words. Scratched in dark crayon. Licked it for you already? Behind me, a floorboard creaked. I turned, slowly. The hallway was empty. But I knew. I was no longer alone. The air turned colder. The house silent. But I could feel it. Something breathing. Close. I backed into the kitchen. Eyes locked on the dark hallway. Each step I took made the cone on the counter drip faster. Like it knew. I grabbed a knife. Hands slick with sweat. My reflection in the microwave. Did not move when I did. Just smiled. Then, the jingle. Quiet at first. From inside the house. The hallway light flickered. I ran. Through the living room. Past the front door. Stopped. The door was wide open. But not broken. Not forced. Just politely open. Like someone had stepped out to invite a friend in. Footprints led from the sidewalk to the doorway. Small. Bare. Wet. I slammed the door. Locked it. Pushed the couch against it. And then, something knocked from inside the closet. 3 slow knocks. Then silence. I turned toward it. Knife raised. It knocked again. Twice this time. Soft. Rhythmic. Like it had all night. I stepped closer. My shadow stretched ahead of me. One final knock. Then, from inside the closet, a voice. We have saved you a seat. I stood frozen. Heart pounding like a drum inside my chest. The voice from the closet was quiet now. But the words echoed. Stuck in the air like heat on pavement. I reached for the handle. Unsure if I meant to open it or hold it shut forever. Behind the door, I could hear breathing. Soft. Shallow. Excited. I took a step back. Then another. Knife still trembling in my hand. Suddenly, the jingle started again. Louder now. Closer than it had ever been. Every light in the house flickered once. Then died. Darkness swallowed everything. The closet door creaked open. Slowly. As if something inside had all the time in the world. I raised the knife. Ready to fight. Ready to run. But nothing came out. Only a cold gust of air. And the faint scent of strawberries and blood. When the power returned minutes later, the closet was empty. No footprints. No cone. No note. Only the silence. But I knew what it meant. The truck was not gone. The summer was not over. And the ride, the one I never took, was still waiting. Because some stories do not end. They wait. And every summer, they start again. So if you ever hear an ice cream truck at midnight, no matter how hot the night feels, do not follow the sound. Do not look outside. And above all, do not open the door. Asterisk asterisk.